Hello friends, it is yet another Sunday. I welcome you to today's lesson. As usual, learning at ease, and Andrew Jimmy is always steering. I thank those that always follow, always attend classes every Sunday evening. You always have classes, and the lessons to those that don't attend live podcasts, they are always on my pages. Learning at Ease Facebook page, and YouTube channel is still Learning at Ease. So you can always go and check the lessons. They're always there. As I always tell you, I produce books. And the books, they are here. So far we have 2 books. This one is specifically about map work and photograph interpretation, understanding map reading and photograph interpretation. This book is good. I tried to make it easy to be understood by a learner, so a student can teach him or herself using this book. It was so simplified that it can be used by both the learner and the teacher. This book is good. I recommend people to buy it. All the lessons we are conducting were simplified here. So as I'm teaching here, a lot of details are left just because of time and other factors. So the details are in this book. So I recommend students to buy this book. It is good. There is also another book here, Understanding Land Survey. This one is good for people or learners or students that take survey. It has got simplified concepts about survey. So I recommend people to buy this book. The book is good, and you can contact me in case you need a copy. My WhatsApp number is +256 753 064408. So that number is always on. You can call, you can send a message, you can send a WhatsApp message. I'll still get you. So the books are there. You can win yourself a copy. Always don't forget to subscribe on Learning at Ease for more interesting lessons. Today, as usual, we are discussing still on map work, and today we are going to look at measuring distance on a topographical map. We are basically looking at a topographical map because they are the maps you always do. A topographical map, as I always tell you, those who have been following, that is a map that shows or that considers the relief of an area, man-made and physical features. So it is a map that shows or that displays both horizontal distance and the vertical distance. This is the topographical map. So all the works we are doing on map, they are basically coming from this map. So whenever I talk of a map, that is the map I'm talking about. So distance is basically measured in kilometers. But what we should know, when we are dealing with the distance, we should ask ourselves, what is the examiner interested to find out in a learner? Here, you must know that the examiner in distance is looking for measuring skill. Can you measure using, let's say, a ruler? Can you read the units which are on the ruler? That is one. Two, the examiner is interested in finding out the mathematical skills in a learner. Math skills from you. After getting the map distance, because we are not interested in the map distance, we are interested in the actual ground distance. Can you convert the measurements you have got here and get the distance? Another thing to note here is map distance is going to be always in centimeters, but the examiner is interested in ground distance, which is supposed to be in kilometers. So as I've told you, is interested in measuring skill. Can you measure this? Two, is interested in mathematical skills. Can you convert the distance you have got here into actual ground distance? So as a learner, after knowing this, now we ask ourselves, what is the nature of distance that is being asked? Nature of distance. Nature of distance on the map. This is the first thing you ask yourself. We have two types. One, there is straight line distance, straight line distance, and we have curved distance. As a learner, you must know which type of distance am I dealing with. Is it curved distance or it is straight line distance? In most cases, these distances are on man-made features, basically, but they are also natural features, but they are always in railways. It can be a railway, it can be a road, it can be a coastline. Maybe they are interested in finding a coastline. It can be a power line. So any feature they may need to ask. But for you should know, we have straight line distance and we have curved distance. So in your mind, you ask yourself, which distance do they want me to measure? Is it straight line or it is curved distance? If it is straight line, let's assume it is straight line. If it is straight line, that means note, starting point, check where is the starting point, and look for the end point. That is identification of the area to be measured. It is very important because you can measure distance. Sometimes you find students measuring distance which the examiner is not interested in. Because someone has seen a railway, is measuring the whole railway, yet the examiner may be interested in finding out whether you can read the grid points. It tells you that find the distance of a railway from a grid point, this, to the other grid point. So here, if it is a railway, don't just measure every part. Check which area, what is the starting point, what is the end point. After identifying that, already we have known that it's a straight line. The tool we use for a straight line, this one, we are going to use ruler. Why? If the line is distance, then a ruler is the best thing to use is a ruler. Ruler is this. Supposing we have our simple map extract here. Let me just have a simple network of eastings and northings. Assuming we have eastings, let us assume this is 01, 02, 3, 04, 05, 06, 07. Then we have these ones, and these are northings. Assuming we have northing 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Assuming that is the map extract. Let's assume they have given us the feature. Let the feature be a loose weather surface road. Assuming this is our loose weather surface road. loose weather surface road, assuming this is the feature they are interested in. Let me shade it like this. Let me shade it like this. Assuming it was a loose weather surface road, we said identify the distance is straight. The starting point, assuming they have said from here up to here, the loose surface road, that is the road. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the ruler. After noting the starting point and the end point, you have your ruler. Get your ruler. Put it properly. Make sure 0 is here. Put the ruler here. What are we looking for? We are looking for map distance. After getting map distance, then we shall convert that map distance into actual ground distance. So we cannot get actual ground distance unless we have the map distance. So we look for the map distance. Map distance, assuming, not assuming, for you must be exact. I have 0 here. I have 29.5. 29.5. So I have my map distance as 29, map distance as 29.5 centimeters. So it has not ended. I've said that the examiner is interested in finding the measuring skill. The measuring skill is, can you read accurately from your ruler? Can you put the ruler, place the ruler perfectly here? Can you measure perfectly from here up to here? This is what they are looking for. Now after getting this, is looking for mathematical skill. Here we have to convert from map distance to actual ground distance. Convert from map distance to actual ground distance. Now we are going to convert. We are going to convert. We are going to convert. We put another blackboard here. Put another blackboard here. So we are going to convert. We are going to convert. Remember our distance. It has been, map distance has been 29.5 centimeters. 29.5 centimeters. Convert this into actual ground distance. But don't forget the map distance. What is the map distance? Not the map distance. The scale. Look for the scale. That is 1 to 50 centimeters. The scale is very important. The scale is very important because for this distance on the ground, for the distance which was on the ground, on the map, it is summarized, is compressed into this using this scale. So now here we need to find out. We know how to convert. I told you when you are given this scale, you need to find out this is map distance, this one is actual distance. So now we want to find out every 1 centimeter represents what in actual ground. In other words, what we do here, convert from centimeters, because this is centimeter and this one is centimeter. Convert from centimeters to kilometers. So here we are going to find out that 1 kilometer, we know that it is the same as 100,000 centimeters. That is the case. How about 50,000? This one is centimeters. What is that in actual ground? So when you cross multiply, this one and this one will cancel, this one will cancel. We shall remain with a half. We shall remain with, because this one is going to be like this, and this one will be down, this one will be up. So 50 over 100 will give us 1 over 2. So here we shall have 1 centimeter representing a half a kilometer. That is, if we do these calculations, the previous lessons we did that, and we know that 1 centimeter equals represents half a kilometer. So if this is the case, that whenever we see a centimeter on the map, that is a half a kilometer on the ground, Then we come back here. Our map distance is 29.5 centimeters. Where there is a centimeter, you put half kilometer. So this one is going to be 29.5 times a half a kilometer. With this a half is put in that centimeter position. So now what are we going to get? When you divide, what do you get? When you divide, yes, I was looking for a calculator. So when we divide here, 29.5 divided by 0.5, we get 29.5 divided by times 0.5, we get 14.75. 14.75 kilometers. So that means the distance of the road, was 14.75 kilometers. That is distance measuring a straight line distance. That is a straight line distance.